What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Tyler Reagan Exchange podcast, where we have a longtime friend of Tyler's, Adam McCabe. They're going to be talking a lot about sports and Marvel. It's a great episode. Get ready to listen in.
Before we start talking about hockey, though, I want you to know I have listened to about 4 hours of Spit and Chicklets since I realized that you were going to come on. I listened to it.
So we can have a conversation about it?
So that I'll have just the smallest bit of intel.
I'm here to educate you about it.
Yeah, I just want to be able to, I definitely heard that from someone sometime. It was just Biz. Biz said it. Actually, Wit said a lot. Before we get into hockey, though, I do want to, because obviously you're very versatile in your ability to converse. So did you read the Narnia books? Okay. I was just looking at all the movies that are coming out this year, and they're coming out. One of my favorite books is Narnia. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was one that came out.
The prequel book I saw.
The prequel, The Magician's Nephew, is my favorite book out of all of the books.
Well, that's the first, technically the first book in the series, though, right?
That's how, like, the lamppost, like, it explains the lamppost. So it explains everything.
I literally just watched a thing about how C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were having a conversation, having a walk about how all the major stories in life all came back to, like, one thing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's a really good book. But one of the ones that was, I want to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe for just a little bit before we get into hockey, because you believe that this Doomsday movie is going to be make or break. Like, this is either they come back or if they bum out, like, this is it. Like, the Avengers are gonna.
They're rebooting everything anyway. I think they're these Secret Wars comes out next year after Doomsday.
So they are coming out with Secret Wars.
Yeah, and they're rebooting everything after that.
Meaning all of the old, so they're actually going to get rid of all the old heroes.
Yeah, so
technically.
Yeah.
Or by reboot, do you mean they're going to have them? They're just going to come back as different characters.
Yeah. So yeah, we could get into that, but like they're talking. What happens is that they brought Blade back from his original movies. They're bringing like characters from the X-Men into this. So what they're doing is all the universes are getting destroyed. And so you're only going to have one timeline. Like now there's all these different timelines. You're just going to have one timeline, is my understanding, when it's all done. So all the movies are now under Marvel, Disney, and anything from here on out is going to be canon. It's going to be just one timeline.
Okay.
Instead of having all these branches, because before Marvel had the rights to everything, Fox had some rights to the X-Men, Fantastic Four. Blade was owned by New Line Cinema.
Sony
owns
Spider-Man.
which they still do.
Which I think is
Sony's
stupid.
not going to give up Spider-Man.
Why not?
It's a moneymaker.
Just let them go. Just please let. I don't understand that. So would that mean? Would that mean that they're going to? When you say, are they going to fix the timeline, or are they just going to kind of be like, all right, not forget everything, but like they're just going to
everything from here starts over. Everything from here is like this.
So
this is your movie timeline.
They're not going to explain like a way, like, to where we get to one timeline that we're talking about all the time.
I think they will. I think you'll see all the timelines in Secret Wars blow up, and you're only going to have one left, is what I think is going to happen.
Gotcha. What? Didn't that kind of... Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
Did that not happen in the Loki series? Or did...
So right now, Loki's actually keeping all the timelines together as best he can. He's controlling it, right? Like everything right now.
But there's still multiple timelines.
Right, but they're all getting destroyed. And you know why? Do you know what happened? So you remember at the end of...
Wasn't it... it's Captain, right?
So Cap at the end of Endgame stayed with...
Becky. No.
Not Becky.
Not Becky.
He stayed with... now you got me messed up. But anyway...
Bucky is the guy.
But he didn't stay with... No,
he didn't stay with Bucky.
He went with Captain Britain.
What's her name?
No, I just forgot it. Here. No, dude, I didn't realize we were recording now. I'm all messed up.
No, you're good. Here, look it
up.
Peggy. Now you don't need to look it up, but keep that. The password is 25252525. If we need to look anything up, look it up. Okay, so he's the one that messed it all up.
Yeah. So my understanding now, obviously I haven't seen the movie, but my understanding is when he went back in time, there was two Caps in the same timeline because he was still frozen, but then he lived his life with Peggy, and
they still found him.
Had a kid,
stuff.
and what I think and what I've read is. Did you see the New Avengers movie that came out? It was called Thunderbolts, and then now it's actually called the New Avengers.
Oh, they changed the name?
Yeah. So that was the whole point. That movie, at the end, they're the New Avengers. There's lawsuits and stuff, too, like with Bucky and the new Cap and, Falcon or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they have, like, they have this whole thing where
So are they gonna run with him?
no. So you have the Avengers, and then they're considered the new Avengers. In the comics, man, they had the West Coast Avengers. There was Avengers factions everywhere.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so what they did is they went back. So at the end, I don't know. Did you see that movie?
Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end,
Decent.
there's always an end credit scene.
Yeah.
Did you see the Fantastic Four ship come in?
Yes.
So what I was told is that Cap and the Fantastic Four are on that ship, and they're coming to this timeline. So they've come to this.
Which Cap?
Huh?
Which Cap?
So Doctor Doom went to the timeline where Steve Rogers lived his life with Peggy and had a kid, and went,
Okay.
"You messed everything up.
Okay.
You need to come with me so we can fix it." He's deceiving everybody. He's like, "You need to come with me to fix it." What's important is, so you know the son that Mr. Fantastic had with
What's her face?
Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
He is the most powerful
Right.
superhero.
Which is
in
why in Fantastic Four, what's his face was trying to get him.
Doctor Doom was talking to him. Yes, so he's trying to get him because what he can do is he can go from one. So he can go from one dimension to the next. So he can go to
Okay.
any timeline, and so he wants to utilize that.
Okay.
His name's Franklin Richards. He's very, very powerful. But anyway, super, super cool how they're bringing it all out. But like,
Right.
Marvel has not done good, in my opinion, since Endgame. Other than
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi was good.
It's a great movie.
Shang-Chi was good. And I really like the TV shows, and they don't get enough credit. Like, I think
Did you like She-Hulk?
She-Hulk was okay. I like that they did.
I don't like what they did to Hulk in
Well,
She-Hulk.
there's so much of a fan service that I think they did. They added Daredevil in his yellow suit. Fans were going nuts over that.
Yeah.
Abomination, they kind of clean his act up. Now he's not like a bad guy or whatever.
Right.
But I thought She-Hulk was...
Loki was great.
Loki was really good. I really did enjoy, like, they had... I'm a big fan of, like, the Marvel Knights, which are, like, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight,
Yeah.
Blade, like,
Did
Daredevil.
you like...
those are my-
You didn't like the Moon Knight series, did you?
It's funny. It's like hindsight now. Looking back, I wish they would have done more. Like, I hate that there's not a second season. I think they
Right.
should have done more with it. But
But it didn't do very well, right?
I don't think. Well, they changed a lot. So they made him have like a split personality in the show.
Right.
When in the comics, he had different personalities that did different things. So he would like
Gotcha.
go and like disguise himself as this other person as like, and he would be like a taxi driver just to get insight and intel.
Right.
And this, they made him have like different identities, and he's got like all these kind of issues going on.
It was a weird show.
It was a weird show, but I love the costume. I loved how I kind of like some of the changes.
I
but-
wanted to watch it. I did watch it, but I wanted to love it.
Yeah.
Because Mac loved him a lot, right? And you guys hyped him up all the time. I was like, well, I want to like. Hopefully, this is great. The show just didn't get it for me. And then what's her face? WandaVision. I thought
That was a good show.
WandaVision was great.
No, great show.
I
Great
think
show.
the people that hate on it didn't make it past episode 4.
Yeah, those first couple episodes are rough though.
That
Those
was
first couple episodes,
rough.
I think it's like third episode. Finally, things changed, and I was like, "Thank goodness," because I can't stand
Yeah.
like being in the 50s. And
Once
not
it
knowing what
started
the heck's
opening
going on.
up a little bit, it was like, okay, all right, I can get behind this.
Right.
But those first couple, I was like,
Right.
and I kept calling you about it, and you're like, come on, you could just just keep going.
fight
You're
through it,
almost
fight through
there.
it. But no, that one was really good. And then I like the Echo show. They brought Kingpin into that. Echo was good. She was deaf.
I
She's a deaf
haven't
superhero.
seen it yet.
That one's pretty good.
Because Echo is she was in the other series with Hawkeye and what's her face? The Haley Steinfeld.
yeah.
She was in that, right?
I don't think she was. Echo came out first.
She was.
Was she?
Yeah, I think she was.
So
I think that was her intro.
Okay, maybe she was, and then I just remember Hawkeye had a lot to do. They were in they both were like fighting Kingpin, so
Right.
the shows kind of went together. And Daredevil was in that show. I don't know if you didn't watch Echo. You said
I haven't watched Echo yet.
so.
I
There's
need to watch
scenes
Echo.
and they were like it might not. It might be like she goes back and she's reminiscing about a time, but she like fought Daredevil too through that. Or saw
okay.
Daredevil fight Kingpin. I can't. It's been so long. I watch the shows when they come out, and then I don't go back and revisit.
Did they come out with a new Daredevil? Yeah. Okay, and it's on Disney.
It's good,
Right.
So and the
Does
original
it
shows
have any callback to the
Yep.
original?
So
okay.
it wasn't supposed to be originally, and then they changed it and they tweaked that show quite a bit to make it
The
like
new
this
one
is
or the old one?
The new one. So
new one
now
they
the
tweaked.
old one is canon. The Punisher's canon. In the
Yep.
new series, you're going to see Jessica Jones in the new Daredevil season.
Really?
She's coming back
Okay,
for the new
cool.
series, and then Kingpin's like running for mayor. They just announced season 3 of Born Again, which is on Disney Plus, is going to end the run of Kingpin as trying to
Okay.
be the mayor. And I don't know what that means or what that looks like, but
I thought they did really well with Kingpin. And the
I think
scenes
they
that I've
did really
seen
good.
with him, I think they did good.
really good. Yeah. No, I think there's so many.
Because he's like a big part of Marvel
Yeah.
that just.
I mean, he fights Spider-Man. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like a big deal. My favorite. It's so funny. I've had so many ideas of what Marvel could do just growing up, a big fan. But like, there's so many different things that they've done that is now to me like this is the path you should be on.
Right.
And I think they got overhyped after Endgame happened. They thought, man, we could just, and Disney Plus was coming out around the same
Right.
time. So now like we could. I think what they did was that they flooded the market. And
You
they
couldn't keep up.
and it was quantity over quality.
Right.
So like now they're not coming out with as much stuff. Remember back in the day it was like anticipation, the hype of the
Right.
movie, the one or two Marvel, but they were coming
Yeah.
out with everything all the time. And even for me as a fan, I was like trying to keep up. I was like, wait, hold on. Like, and that was
Right.
always one I wanted to watch it in order as it was happening so I could keep up. And then I was just like, it just started going and I'm like, what do I watch? What don't I watch? What's going in
Right.
and out? And I was like, what? It just kind of got to be too much. And then the quality to me, it just kind of the quality went out and they were just like, let's flood the market. I think they just got overzealous and were like, oh, we can do whatever. People will buy it. And then it was like, no, you were putting out quality stuff
Right.
back to back to back to back. And then you stopped. And also burnout, right? All of a sudden, every movie company was coming out with a superhero movie and
Right.
and it's all the same story. It was like
Right.
the same thing. There was nothing new and innovative.
Have you seen the show Invincible on Amazon Prime?
No, but I want to watch that.
Myself, I'm trying to get Chaston to watch it. He won't watch it. I'm just kidding. He watched it. I'm trying to get Joey to watch it, and he refuses to.
No, I want to watch it.
It's so
the people
good.
that make that show are like I'm big fans of. Like the
Yes.
comic book people who made this.
He wrote, what's his face? The guy that wrote.
I think it's like Mark Millar in them, is it
Yeah,
not?
but he wrote, I forget which. Anyways, what I was going to say is for me, that show is in my top 5. It's an animated show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And as an animated show, it's in my top 5 all time of shows, TV shows ever created. That's how good it is.
Right.
Not to hype it up too much, but it's that good. And I don't know anyone that has watched it all the way through. Bonnie agrees. Daniel loves it. Joe from work, he adores it, right?
They've already come out, what, 2 seasons? I think a 3rd
3,
one's
I
about to come
think.
out. Is it
4
3?
is about to
There's
come
a new
out.
one about to come out. Yeah, so I've actually gone back. I've been so busy. And with going back to school and stuff, one of the things I've been doing is like yesterday. So I bought, first of all, I'm trying to build my library up. And so I've been reading a ton of Batman, ton of Hellboy. I've been getting the library editions. Tons of graphic novels. And
Where are you getting them?
all over the place, dude. So I go to McCabe's out there in Winston. I get a bunch of stuff from them. If I
I
can't find
forget
anything.
you have one. Ours moved.
Yeah,
Ours
I know.
left.
But it's always hit or miss though. Like sometimes I'll go in there and they have everything I want. Sometimes I go in there, it all depends on what's in there. But I've been doing that, and then a couple of things. I always had like the TV series. I would get every season. Now I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until the season's done running,
Right.
and then get the whole box set with everything. But I want to make sure I get all the special features.
Right.
Dude, I went back and I watched Batman the Animated Series from the 90s.
Oh, wow.
So good. Watched Superman the Animated Series. Went back and watched Justice League. I watched
I can't stand Superman.
I went back and I watched. Well, we'll get
stand
into that
Superman.
too because Superman used to be my favorite. And
I can't stand Superman.
I've kind of turncoated to Batman
Yeah.
now. But like, I watched Game of Thrones, and then so I want to get all the.
Oh, you haven't recently watched Game of Thrones.
No, what I watched was I went back.
I thought you threw it in
No.
just all these. I'm like, yo,
No,
what
no.
a wild show
Well,
to
so I'm
throw
going
in
back
there.
to like, well, they had the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is
Right.
part of that lore. Like, I love the Tolkien. I love the C.S. Lewis. I love those storylines. I love the world building of it.
Right.
Like, it's just interesting. Now, Lord of the Rings, I struggle with in a sense that, like, I watched them once, and Hayden recently, my son, was like, I want to watch Lord of the Rings. But when you watch them on HBO Max, they're 4-hour-long
Yeah.
extended
The
editions.
extended editions.
And even he watched the first one, he got halfway through the second one, he dipped. I was like, where'd you go? He's like, I'm out, dude. Like, there's only
It's
so
tough.
much of this. Because, like, once you see it,
It's
though,
good.
it is really good, but like, bro, it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of like, but definitely.
But like you said, it's building something.
oh yeah,
And at the end, it's built something that gets to be beautiful.
Right. And so it was one of those things where I loved like the Hobbit movies. To me, were more like, which the Hobbit book is more. I don't know if you've ever read them, but like the Hobbit was more of like a fun kids kind of book.
Right.
Lord of the Rings, it's very long winded and very detailed and very
Right.
like on and on and on. George R. R. Martin with the Game of Thrones with the Song of Ice and Fire series, same thing, dude. He just drags on
Yeah.
and on and on about, but it's world building. You have to, you know. But he did a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which are like novellas. They just came out with the first season of that. I thought that was brilliant. But of course, then it made me. I didn't want to watch House of Dragon. I was like, I'm not. Well, I loved Game of Thrones. I'm not going to go back and watch House of Dragon. No, I like it,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
I'm
pretty
hooked.
good.
I'm hooked, dude.
It's pretty good. I was about to say, yeah,
I'm
it's
into
pretty
it,
good.
and now the new season's coming out in June, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I caught up now. So when the new season,
The way
comes
the
out.
last season ended, I was like, me and Monty
Well,
were sitting on the
my
couch,
thing
I
was
like,
the way it ended.
that's
It was
that-
like building up to this big battle, and then it just credits come on. I'm like, you really built this up for
Yeah.
2 whole seasons. Then you're like, we'll play it for first episode, season 3.
Which is what they're supposed to do. They
Yeah,
did
man.
exactly what they're supposed
they'll
to do.
come back. They'll come back.
But
But anyway,
you want to come back to the Superman comment?
no, well, I just
I can't stand him. My dad hates. My dad loves Superman. He's always been a big Superman fan. He used to come down the steps, dun, 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 like he would do. He loves Superman. I can't stand him, and it's not because I don't love my father. I love my father, but I can't stand Superman.
So there's a guy that I used to watch, and it's funny. I just let Hayden see this the other day. It was like 2007. He does lyrics to all the big theme songs. So like Indiana Jones, Superman, Batman, and then they're hilarious. But it's like the theme songs he does. He puts lyrics to them, and it's just so fun. Like even it's like the Superman theme. It's like look up in the sky, but you know it's like bum 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 bum. But anyway, he gets nuts. He talks about how Superman wears underwear, and it's weird. Nobody says anything about it. But like Superman to me, the problem as a kid, I love Superman. In my 20s, I loved Superman, and then as I got older, the Man of Steel movie came out, and I hyped that movie up to everybody. I still would stand by it for a long time. Like, guys, it's good.
It sucks.
So the problem is
There's a couple cool scenes in it.
Yeah.
Like if you slide across on TikTok or Instagram, you're like, oh, that's sick. Glad I didn't have to watch the rest of this movie.
But I think like the problem with all right, what's the best thing about Batman? Answer that question.
His detective ability is technically
It's
what-
pretty cool. But like, what makes him so cool?
He has a really dark, deep voice, and he says, "I'm Batman."
Why do you want to kill me?
He's rich.
I don't want to kill you.
I don't want to kill you.
You complete me.
He's rich. I mean,
No, but so
there's a lot of
villains,
things.
though, his villains.
His villains are the best. Okay, yeah.
So,
His
so
villains are the
you
best.
have all these cool, and Batman's a human. So
R.I.P.
like he can go up against anything. He like, dude, he's mortal. Like he could die.
Right.
And most of his villains though,
That's
they're
why
mortal,
I hate
right?
Superman.
Who's gonna without kryptonite? I mean, there's
Right.
not much you're gonna do. So then you look at Batman's villains. Who does he have, dude? Like he's got Brainiac. Okay. You know they keep General Zod. They keep bringing back.
Right.
But like, there's not many villains. And then Lex Luthor, which is cool. And the reason why, because for a long time I couldn't understand Superman's this super being from another planet, and then you have Lex Luthor. And you're like, he's just a dude with money.
Random bald man.
I don't understand. But Lex Luthor's brilliant and probably one of the smartest people in DC Comics, and he can outwit. But what's taking Superman from not just putting his beams through that dude's head and just call it a day? Like
He's
it's
such
just
a nice guy.
Yeah, Superman's too nice.
Did you see the new Superman movie?
I actually kind of liked it.
It wasn't bad.
It was weird how they just went right into it. There's no origin story.
I like that.
Yeah, I think we need that now.
I think with that story, I think it's the same thing with the Batman. Like that Batman movie.
So good. That was a good movie.
It was a good movie, but like, here's the thing about us doing all these repeats, especially on the DC side. They keep telling the origin story,
And we know what it
like
was.
we haven't heard it. I know exactly why Batman is the way that he is.
Right.
We don't have to relive this for the 28th time.
Right.
Let freaking the Dark Knight series, that whole series, let it tell that story, and anything else you want to do in the actual comic side,
Right.
just go into that. We don't need to know.
Well, that's what they
anything
did
else.
with. And I don't know if you noticed with the new Spider-Man movie they
Yeah.
came out with. They jumped right into it. Tom Holland was already, or Peter Parker was already Spider-Man for
Started
6
doing
months
his
when he
thing.
started, right?
Yeah.
Like, and on the big ones, I think you don't need the origin story. On
Right.
one like Moon Knight or Blade, you're probably going to need the origin story.
Right.
It's been so long.
So are they coming out with a Blade movie? Because they were supposed to, and then
and now
what
I
happened?
don't know. I think it's in
So is
development.
the game is coming out? There's a game,
A Blade game? Oh, they're coming out with a Wolverine game.
and they're coming out together, or is he going to be in the Wolf? It's separate.
Oh, I didn't know.
That'll
anything
be
about that.
sick.
The
I'll
Wolverine
play
game
that.
looks sick. Now, did you ever play the Spider-Man games on the PlayStation? The new ones? Bro, those games are brilliant.
That's why
Like,
we
they are
always
so good.
I play Xbox, and I played Xbox for the
I have
longest
Xbox
time now.
now, yeah.
But I just bought Bonnie a PS5, and I bought it for her, right? Because she wants to play video games, and she had an old PS4. I was like, I'll just get her PS5. But in my head, I'm like, if they ever come out with another Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man game, I've got to
That
have
game's off the chain.
a
That game was-
PlayStation in this house.
even the Miles
'Cause of
Morales
freaking
one that came
Sony.
out. That,
Miles-
that game was awesome.
So have you watched all those movies?
What?
The Miles Morales Spider-Man's?
Yeah, those are actually really good
Those
for
are
an animated
great
movies. Those are off the
I
chain,
think those
dude.
are probably better than a majority of your Marvel movies that are out right now. Those are really good.
I have a hot take that nobody likes.
Please tell me.
I'm not a big fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I am so
Thank God.
So like
someone agree. I didn't know that we agreed.
no, dude,
I can't stand. So this is go ahead. No, you. This is your hot take. I want to hear it.
So Andrew Garfield to me was the best Spider-Man, but not the best Peter Parker.
I agree.
He was too cool.
Yeah.
Peter Parker was nerdy.
Yeah,
I think Tobey was a good Peter Parker because he was so nerdy.
Awful
As
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's funny. He's witty. He's beating your butt and he's talking junk while he does it.
Which
Tom Holland is kind of like a mix of both. But Andrew Garfield, I loved him as Spider-Man. I hate he didn't get a third movie. I think the scripts he had for those movies were a little tough.
Yeah, but he killed it.
He was so good. I loved seeing him in the No Way Home that came out. Like
that was good.
That was such a good movie. And I kind of like Tobey Maguire in that one. I was like, okay,
the older, kind of more mature. I think
it.
the scene where he webs and they're just like, where'd that come from? He's like,
weird.
Wait, y'all don't do that? And they're like, no.
Yeah,
that was cool.
It was very. It was a weird moment.
That was a great moment. I don't know what you're talking about.
They were like, "Do you ever get like web block?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about it." There was a whole movie about it.
My second movie. So that's crazy. I didn't know that we agreed on that. Maybe I got that from you by accident at some point because I can't stand.
Because I think
Tobey
Bonnie and I disagreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah, she loves McGuire.
Yeah, and I'm.
But she also she'll agree that the best combo of both is I just lost it.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, she thinks he's the best combo,
which
I agree.
I do like him a lot. I do like him a lot.
I've seen a couple interviews where he's like, "Yeah, we'll see if I do another Spider-Man." What? Like, I'm like, dude, you gotta. I understand, and I get this from like a acting perspective. You've got to keep yourself open to be able to do other roles, but it's not like he's not already done that.
Right.
He's in a lot of it. Uncharted.
Yeah.
He did really well in that movie. I don't think the movie was that great, but.
I think he was in a lot of stuff when he was younger. I remember he had like a mole on his chin and he had it removed before he did the Spider-Man movie. He did that. What was it? The Spiderwick Chronicles or something? He did something.
Spider-Man gave him Zendaya. He can't turn his back on Spider-Man.
Well, you know what's crazy is they all kind of did that, right? I don't know if Toby and Kirsten Dunst ever did, but like Andrew Garfield was dating Emma Stone before, for a while they were together, and then now he's with Zendaya. So I don't know. The Spider-Man movies are pretty good, though. And that's why I think Sony's not going to give up the rights.
They can't.
Even though Marvel's controlling, I guess, how that goes down. But it's the only, they tried to do all those spin-off movies, and they weren't any good.
Yeah.
Madam Web and honestly, I know people like the Venom movies.
Who?
There's a lot of people out there. But I am not.
Do you like the Venom movies? Okay. They're awful. I don't know anyone that likes it.
But the crazy thing is I like the guy who plays Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
I think he's great. But the storylines, and he doesn't have the spider like on his chest, and it's not like, and it's just kind of, I don't know. They just try to make it funny.
He's speaking Caleb's language. He's over here just like, yes,
dude. It like to me, it's just not. I don't know. It's crazy how they're trying to make movies with Spider-Man's villains without Spider-Man, and it's like, guys, it's not.
Yeah,
working.
I don't understand why they did that with him.
They just said recently they're going to reboot that whole series. They're going to try again with all of it. I'm like, just
are they going to keep the same actor? Because
no,
I think
they're rebooting.
I think he did great.
Tom Hardy needs to come over and be Venom in a Spider-Man movie and let him go. Yeah, let him go. Let him go.
He did really well on his end. But
I like him as an actor.
The writing was.
I loved him as Bane. I loved. He was awesome.
Dude, that whole series should just be untouched.
That is. Yeah. Well, so right now I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. You guys are probably too young. In 2000, when that casting came out of Heath Ledger as the Joker. I rolled my eyes and I was like, what are we doing? This is crazy.
Right.
Batman Begins was so good. What are we?
And
I was proven wrong so 1,000 times over with that.
Did you talk about it too? Where you're like, yeah, this is going to be awful. He's going to be awful.
Oh, yeah. People were making fun of me too. Oh, your boy. Because everybody knew I was a comic book fan.
Right.
And back then, comic book movies and comic books were not cool. I was a closet comic book fan. I played sports and nobody knew I had Ghost Rider comics in my closet.
You had to hide it.
It wasn't, I had the movies on my
And then
shelf.
you
My
came
friends
out.
would come over. But once it became pop, what frustrated me, it was like Walking Dead kind of changed that too. When the Walking Dead show came out, all of a sudden, and then Marvel was Iron Man, Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
And then that was changing everybody. And then people would try to talk to me about comic books that weren't comic book fans. And I'm like, guys, they would say things and I would be like trying to explain stuff. And I'm like, guys, like, okay. I'm just glad you're watching the movies. I'm glad you're invested and interested right now.
I didn't watch any of them. I didn't know anything until I worked with you. Do you remember standing out at that table and explaining the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe to me?
What'd I do?
And then I had to go back home. What was great is I got mono right after we had that conversation.
So all you could do was watch
So
movies?
all I did was watch all those movies and get caught up on everything.
How'd you get mono, Tyler?
We're having such a good conversation.
Which one did we go see together? We were at the beach with
I don't remember. Was it Avengers
Damien.
maybe?
Do what?
When was that? 2018?
That was a while ago. It was. I think it
Might
might
have
have
been one
been.
of the Avengers movies.
It
Infinity
was.
War, maybe?
I think it was the first one. Yeah,
No. Yeah, that was good times.
that was good.
That I
times.
don't remember.
Everyone erupted. That was one of the coolest things that I've
Well,
ever been able to be a part
the
of.
Endgame was cool because literally I remember
It wasn't
and we
Endgame.
live in the South, right? So you have all the Southern Baptists watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And no, this was the first Avengers movie. So in 2012, I'm in the theater. And they were like,
Did you get dressed up?
no, I wasn't
Good.
that guy.
I'm proud of you.
No. So Black Widow says to Cap, or she's like, you don't want to fight this fight. These people are basically gods, right?
Right.
And he goes, there's only one God, ma'am. And they don't dress like that. And he goes to jump out of the plane. And every Southern Baptist in that, woo, Jesus, praise God. And I was like, what are we? It's like, okay. I mean, I'm telling you, I laughed so hard. We were just cracking up about that. But
I think so. I have a question. Do you go to movie theaters ever anymore?
sometimes. I actually want to go this year. There's a lot of good movies coming out.
So we
this
should
year.
go. We should go to some because I want to bring movie theaters back. I really think they're a dying breed. There's 2 of them in Greensboro that have closed in the last 6 months.
Yeah, a lot. Well, the problem is the streaming services too. I think. Did you see yet? I think it was yesterday or the day before. Did you see where Paramount is getting all of Warner Brothers stuff now? So all the DC stuff is now going. Netflix won that
Great.
bid a couple months
That's
ago.
great because I have Paramount Plus.
But Netflix everybody thought Netflix won it a
Right.
couple months ago. Then they said nope. Paramount's renegotiating. We're working out a better deal. I think everybody was afraid if it goes to Netflix, and even actors and actresses, I would assume, because Scarlett Johansson was upset about the Black Widow movie. They only streamed that on Disney Plus during COVID, and so she didn't get any kind of money, or she
Right.
was missing out, I guess, on royalties. I'm not really sure the ins and outs. She won the lawsuit, whatever it was. But like, you got to think as an actor and actress, I want my stuff in theaters because it's going to make billions, hundreds of millions, and maybe even
people
billions
go.
if people go. But they stream it, and now what they do is it'll come out in theaters for a couple weeks, and everybody's like, I don't want to go outside, I don't want to get sick, so they're gonna
you
stay
usually
at
have to
home.
wait months.
Yeah, well
and
now
months.
it's coming out quick.
Yeah, it's
they're
like a couple
coming out
weeks
so
after.
much quicker. Yeah, but it's
I do want to start going though. I was just talking to one of my clients about that the other day. I was like, I feel like we need to.
dude, there's
kinda
so
push
many.
to
The
go back.
Super Mario Galaxy movie's coming out. That first one was pretty good, and then the new Spider-Man movie comes out this year.
Yep.
Doomsday comes out around Christmas. But Hayden and I were looking it up the other day. There was like so many really good movies coming out this year, and we were like, dude, we're gonna stay in the movie theaters this summer. I hope so.
I think we need to be out there.
I'm gonna spend the month in month of June. I'm gonna be in New Jersey too, and I think a couple come out then. I was like, we should go. We're gonna go see the He Loves Stranger Things, and we're gonna go. They have a Broadway show, and we're gonna be in
really?
Jersey, so we're gonna go see.
That'll be cool.
Stranger Things on Broadway. We're excited about that.
It's cool.
gonna
Speaking
go-
of Jersey,
Yeah.
let's make a transition.
Oh, let's do it.
What you've been waiting for? So USA are Olympic gold medalists,
Men's and women's.
men's and women's. We swept them all. Canada's awful at hockey now.
The only thing that they're good at. Woohoo.
Now all they have is maple syrup. They're just
They don't
some
even have that.
sticky
They don't even
Canadians
have-
now.
I'm sure there's somebody in New Hampshire that's got better
That's
syrup.
true. Well, that's freaking New Hampshire. So we were at church when it happened.
I ran around the church.
Yeah, I was looking for you. I saw it happen, and I was standing at the back. I was like, "Where's Adam? Where's Adam?" And then you walk through the door. What's in Stranger Things when what are the 2 guys when he's like, "You're back." It's in the
yeah. When they're in the ice
That's
cream
what it
stuff.
felt like because we made eye contact and we're like, "Yeah, we did it." And your boy did it.
Yeah, my boy.
Your boy.
I think the funniest thing is I was sitting there watching it, and for those that don't know me, like I am a big sports guy. Hockey's my number one, baseball a very close second, then football, then basketball, like in that order. And
Basketball's recent.
Yeah,
You
basketball's in the
didn't-
last
you-
2 years.
You just started watching the Knicks play
Knicks
here
are
recently.
finally
Yeah.
good again. They
They are good.
Good since
They're
I was a
very
kid. But anyway, I was I'm watching it on my phone, and everybody at church was like crowded around. Even Jennifer's like, everybody was standing around you around your phone, and Malachi's like, Adam, what do you know about hockey? I was like, bro, just go away. Like, just don't even with me.
Everything.
Right now. Like, yes,
More
my
than
son
anyone
plays.
else
Like,
here.
I am the biggest hockey fan on the planet, and so. What's super cool about this whole situation is number one, Jack Hughes plays for my favorite team ever since I was 6 years old, the New Jersey Devils. And that Joker was told the whole time he should be on this team. He is not good enough. They did the Four Nations tournament last year. Instead of an All-Star game, they did Four Nations.
Bum out?
He didn't really do anything in that tournament. So everybody's like, and Jack gets hurt a lot, so he gets criticized a lot. But when Jack's healthy or Jack's on the ice, he's amazing. He makes things happen.
Yeah.
And so for him to get the credit, and I don't know if you watched Spit and Chicklets, but they were watching it live. And Pasha, who I met when we went to the outdoor game in New Jersey a couple years ago, Pasha.
Didn't you meet Biz too?
Well, I didn't want to see Biz at the time because Biz always dogs on my Devils, and I was I don't like this guy. But now going back, I should have shook his hand. But
He's cool, dude.
yeah, I like him. He's funny. But anyway, so we go. Pasha tells them in that video because they were like Jack Hughes, like Witt's getting excited and everything, and Pasha's like, take back everything you said about Jack Hughes.
Take it all back now.
Take it all back. So, and I don't know if you know, since Jack's been back, he has done. I mean, he was on. Who's your favorite guy? What's the kicker? The punter.
He's not my favorite guy. First off, Pat McAfee, but he's not my favorite guy.
But anyway, he was on Pat McAfee the other day.
I think he's gone way too mainstream, and I'm kind of back on him.
He's gonna see this and be like, yeah.
I'm anything Barstool, and he's not Barstool.
So Pat McAfee, but like Jack wins. He goes to the White House, right? Oh boy. So he wins. He goes to the White House. Then he plays Wednesday night. He plays again Thursday. He had off Friday.
He went on SNL too.
So last night they won. They were in St. Louis. They won the game in St. Louis. Then he flew to New York to go do Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
Like he has not stopped. And they're asking him about like his teeth and like when are you going to get them fixed? And he's like, I feel like some people are going to be upset that I might get them. But everybody keeps asking too, like when did he? Like he didn't always have his teeth knocked out. Now, granted, when I saw them play the Hurricanes in the playoffs here a couple years ago, me and my brother were sitting like 2 rows back. We're next to the penalty box. And some of these players, you don't realize how big they are until you're right there. They're huge. And so Jack gets hit, and he goes down to pick up something. My brother's like, yo, I think Jack just got his teeth knocked out. They didn't even call a penalty on the play. And my brother's like, yo, Jack's missing his teeth, dude. So he had his teeth knocked out.
So this is normal.
Well, he got his teeth knocked out. He got them fixed. Well, then he gets them knocked out. It was like the third period, I think, of that game.
Yeah.
He gets a high stick, double minor, New Jersey. USA doesn't score. And
It's one
so then
player.
it goes,
Okay, chill out.
then it goes into overtime. Yeah. But like, so his teeth are knocked out. I actually already pre-ordered a 16x20 picture of Jack.
As you should have.
With the American flag
As
over.
you
So
should have.
my brother has ordered 4 Team USA Jack Hughes jerseys one for me, him, my son, and one of his friends.
Heck
One.
yeah.
So like, my thing is, and even with memorabilia, you've seen my basement. I am a huge sports. I just got some more bobbleheads and stuff just yesterday. But and Joey, you've been to my basement. So like, what I like to do is get. That sounded weird.
Joey's been to your basement.
You've been in my basement too, dog. Don't even
I stay in your basement.
Okay. All right. For the kids at home, time to turn it off. We're getting Tyler after dark. So listen. So what we did was I always like to get memorabilia of my favorite players, but they have to. The only way it's worth anything to me, I don't care if like you have to make it to the Hall of Fame while being that player.
Yeah.
Or spend your whole career with that team. Because
That's a
I don't
big
like
thing
getting
now.
player. Yeah, because I don't like getting memorabilia and then he goes to Washington and he crushes it and I have all this devil stuff of you know. So I think the coolest thing about the Team USA thing is everybody pulls for Team USA, right? Like we're American, no matter if
America's
Jack
not going anywhere.
Right. If Jack leaves when his contract's up and goes plays wherever, Detroit, Toronto, wherever he goes, I'll always have that Team USA. I would hope for him to stay. He wants to play with his brothers. So Luke plays. That's another thing. Everybody forgets Jack has another brother, Luke, who plays on the Devils. He's a defenseman, young, 21, 22-year-old kid. He's going to be great. I think he's on his way. Quinn, to me, his older brother, was in Vancouver this year. Devils are trying to trade for him. Quinn came out publicly, said, I want to play with my brothers. We have 2 of them in New Jersey. It just makes sense.
That would make the most sense.
Minnesota trades, gets Quinn, and the Devils season. The Devils were one of the top teams in the league. If you're watching this season, we won 1 game in the month of February. After that trade happened, it was like, I don't know, the morale, and it makes no sense. This team is way too good. It has too much talent. My brother and I talk on the phone constantly like, what can they do different? They have some of the top players in the league. We have Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt. Our defense we're studs on defense. Like it doesn't make sense why they're losing. Like we could try to trade players all we want to. What's going to happen is those players we trade out, which is going to tick me off, they're going to thrive in another environment. And I don't know what happened this season, but I'm glad Jack got the gold and got the recognition that I feel he has deserved since he came into the league. He's been crapped on since he got here.
I remember when he started, like when he came in, you were like, this is the guy.
Dude, I love him.
This is the one.
And I hope he never goes anywhere. Jack, if you hear this, please don't ever leave me.
I'm begging.
But I personally, I'm like,
We'll sponsor him.
I would, whatever he needs. I'll give you $8 million a year out of my own pocket when I make $8 million a year.
Let's slow down.
I would do whatever to
The
keep Jack.
podcast will give him a percentage. How about that?
Yeah, cool. We need to start making money.
The Tyler Reagan exchange will give him 1%.
You're getting a cup of coffee, Jack. But
If we want to negotiate for 2, we can do that as well.
But I just think it's great.
Yeah, I agree. So I literally growing up, it wasn't even that I had I don't like soccer, right? I didn't even have a distaste for. I didn't know anything. Hockey didn't exist in Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, which is where I lived the majority of my childhood. So it like just didn't exist for us, right. And so when I met you and we started becoming close, you were talking about hockey all the time. So like I started playing fantasy hockey. I was trying to keep up. I still try to keep up decently. I'll throw a game on here and there, but like I don't know it near as well as you do, right? But something that I was listening to on Spit and Chicklets the other day that I thought was really cool was Whit was talking about the way the United States has started building hockey as a like national sport and how they started like it's Pee-wee and he said midgets. Is that a thing? Okay. Midgets and like working and all of those organizations are what got us to where we're at today, winning it all. And then Biz was talking about how Canada doesn't have that. It's so top heavy and political there that it's like you've got the best of the best and everything under that really doesn't exist as much. Whereas the United States built like this really intricate system of development.
Well, you know what they do? So I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. It's called they call it like a billet family. You ever heard of that? It's called billet family. So what you do is basically if you're good enough, you're going to go live up north with another family, and you're going to pay them like your parents will pay them $500-$600 a month for food, whatever.
I have a client that literally just did that.
And for 8 months, you stay with because you play hockey 8 months out of the year, and they will stay with that family. But you play competitive hockey. Most of them are homeschooled, and they stay with this family because there's a lot more opportunities up there. However, you have places as much as the Carolina Hurricanes make me angry because they whoop my Devil's butts all the time. They do stuff. They do programs here. They do programs right here in Greensboro.
Well, yeah, they're coming here.
Yeah, and they'll do things and they'll build it up. Florida now with the pay. So you got to think the last few Stanley Cups, Tampa Bay went to 3 in a row. They won 2. Florida's won the last 2. So like Florida's getting hockey because when your team, your local team is playing well and winning, all of a sudden you got young kids that are like, Daddy, this is cool. Like, Mom, this is cool.
I want to play hockey.
Right? Like they're wanting to play hockey now, and so I think. With those kinds of things happening, it is growing more and more in areas that you wouldn't quite. They just had Tyler. They just had where Hayden plays up there in Winston, where the Thunderbirds play.
I just watched a nice stretch. It was he did a really nice stretch. It was cool.
Where the Thunderbirds play, they just had the SEC and the ACC tournament. Tennessee had a hockey team playing, and Hayden got tickets for free because he plays for like. USA Hockey. So when you sign up to play,
so he is part of the USA
you have
umbrella.
To. It's mandatory. When sign, in order for him to even play out there, you have to pay so much money a year to be a registered USA Hockey member. Yes.
See, that's the system that he was talking about. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it all falls under that umbrella, and they're just developing.
Yep.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's super. They do a really good job. Now it's going to cost me for him to play on a team next year, and he's going to have to travel a little bit. Hockey costs money, so the problem is like. Basketball, you get some shoes and a ball, you go find a neighborhood to go play, and I mean, whatever, right? Baseball.
Travel teams are everywhere for that.
Right. Baseball, you need
travel
some equipment.
Teams everywhere.
But yeah, it's nuts. Even my little cousin, he plays on a travel football team now.
Yeah.
But like hockey equipment is expensive. The helmet, the shoulder pads, elbow pads, shin guards. You need a helmet. You need the skates. Like you need a stick. Sticks are like baseball bats, man. Like I just got Hayden a really good one for a really good deal the other day. Still cost me like almost $100, and it's like a $350 stick.
Right.
But it's just
crazy.
Yeah, right? Like it's nuts. But like the baseball bats, everybody talks about the hype fires for a while. The hype fire, everybody $300-$400 baseball bat. It's just wild to me. There's just people market it and they make a ton of money. I used to go out there with a aluminum bat that the whole team shared. And, we all hit it with what it was. Now it's marketed.
You just had the bats like lined up and you just grab whichever.
Yeah, just whatever. Mine didn't even have grip tape on it. Right. I was just like, whatever.
So one of the things I did want to talk about, obviously like hockey, Marvel, after we talked the other day on the phone, I talked to Joey. I talked to Caleb a little bit about it, but I think we're gonna start doing the Friends podcast, like do one podcast where we're bringing people on and talking about stuff, and then we're gonna start trying to do a Friends podcast. And then I'm gonna do 2 studios, and I just talked to Darius about this. I'm gonna do a studio here, and I'm gonna do a studio at the house with a couch and stuff, and then I just bought 2 more mics, and we'll bring all of the mics to like the house, and we'll have like 4 people on. We can all talk about a bunch of stuff. So you'll be an expected recurring guest there.
No, I want to be on there. And that's like with this, you didn't really get all of my personality with this today, where it was more serious talk.
I was about to say, there's a lot more.
There's more in this tank.
Well, that's what I was sitting there. I was like, all right, so I really want to talk about Marvel. Obviously, we got to talk about Team USA and some hockey. But I was like, there's so many different. We talk about
I
Giants.
have so many different. Yeah, I have so many different hobbies.
You could go ahead and do a stand up bit for us.
I
quick.
roasted Tyler last night. I don't know if anybody saw that, but he got roasted by me, and the church was like.
It was my going away thing. I was like, let me bring up all of Tyler's ex-girlfriends.
I was like,
what is happening?
I was like, he's leaving. What's it matter? Like, who cares?
What are they gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah, I was like, it is what it is. But everybody afterwards was like, where do you do stand up at? And I was like, I don't. And they were like, you have Stacy was like, you have the walk, like, and you were just confident. And I was like, I was nervous as heck. What are y'all talking about? And they were like, you didn't show me. He was like, show me your YouTube. Like, I need to see where you do this stand up all the time. And Renee was like, I didn't know, and Tommy, like, I didn't know you guys were that funny. Like, I didn't know you were funny, Adam. I was like,
I didn't know you had a personality.
I have to be serious. I can't let this out in public. Yeah, it's not good. You guys won't let me run your kids ministry if you let Adam out. Yeah, it's not good.
But well, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, dude.
I wish we could have gotten into more, but we'll save all of that for the couch talk.
The couch talk's gonna be fun.
Couch talk is gonna be the best.
Talk about current events and stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Talk about current sports. Let's go Giants. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo.
There's never been a team that I've enjoyed watching because I'm not a Giants fan.
We have Harbaugh.
You do have Harbaugh.
Crazy.
So who told you?
No, you did.
Everybody was like, Jackson Dart's not good. Who told you?
You did.
All of you need to listen. If someone's coming into the NFL and you want to know if they're going to be good, talk to me about it. I'll let you know who's going to be a bust. I said Ashton Genty was going to be a bust. Was he a bust? Mm-hmm. I said that Jackson Dart was going to be a dog. Was he a dog?
He's a dog.
I'm telling you. I'll call it every single day of the week. I watch more college football than anyone else on the planet that I know. I'll tell you who's going to be good and who's not.
That's why I was called Tyler. I'm like, hey, we just drafted this guy. Is he any good? I don't watch college sports much.
I remember I was in the gym in my garage working out one time. I don't think it was Jackson Dart. It was somebody else you were calling. Oh, it was after a trade. Either way, you're like, all right, so you watched him in college. What do you think? And I remember being on the phone for an hour. I'm like, listen, so.
Well, I was asking you about Malik Neighbors too. And then now Jalen Hyatt, you were hype on and you were
Jalen Hyatt, I still think is y'all's system. I stand by he.
Jalen's going to leave and kill it somewhere else.
I mean, what quarterbacks, before Jackson Dart, what quarterbacks did you have?
Yo, Daniel Jones killing it for the Colts, bro. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he sucked for y'all though. But my point is, who did you have throwing the ball deep?
Nobody.
That's his thing. He's going to catch it at 40 yards and be moving. That's what he did all in college, right? And the system that he was in college set him up for success. I don't think the Giants system set him up. But for a wide receiver like Malik Neighbors, who was good on the curl routes, the quick crossers, like that's exactly who you want in that system. That's not Jalen Hyatt. That's not the kind of wide receiver he is. He's got to get out and get into some space. And once he's in space, he can do some real damage. And just because he played at Tennessee, yes, I am a little more biased, but I stand by the fact that if he got in a system that took advantage of him as a deep threat and not have him on curl routes and not have him and get the ball in his hands, I think he'd be really good. But he doesn't want to be there anymore. He requested a trade. He wants to get out. It's probably me. I've talked to him a little bit about it and was like, nah, you got to get out.
I think Wandale's leaving. I heard they were moving away from him too.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing it. He had a really good year last year.
They're going with who was the running back for the Seahawks? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
The one that just
won.
Well, the one that there was the whole thing about him negotiating in his contract, or like right before the speech. Yeah, that guy. What's his name?
Justin, what's the name?
But they're saying the Giants
running back for the Seahawks.
Like current right now? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So the Giants are talking about getting Kenneth Walker.
Joey's like, I know the answer. Just ask me. But all right.